wanted to kind of cover the progress that I've made with this character and show kind of what I was doing, what I had in inventory, what I was wearing at the time, in case something happens with the decay timers, which I doubt it will. I just wanted to make sure that all this stuff was covered in case it does. That's my inventory. There's my attributes. Here are my feats that I have that I've spent. Um, I doubt highly anything's going to happen, but I just want to make sure that I have everything documented as to like what I've done because I never really go through and check things. Interesting that I do have air magic in spite of the fact that I haven't actually found the book for it yet. So that's something I need to do. I did find the arcane temple, and apparently Bobby has two locations. One of those is in the caverns that are connected to those caves, and you can face outward from Bobby's altar and look to your right and head into a cavern. Um, in the one that's in the caves, there's I found two locations. I found one here within this area somewhere, and then I found another one within these caves up here. So it might be the same location, but the one I found was completely on dry ground within these caverns with the bats, the sort of bat crow people in these caves. Is completely solid ground, no water. But then when you go into this entrance of the passageway up into the snow biome, it's um, it's a cavern that you float up from. So if I can just get these feats listed, I'm just gonna go a little bit faster to make sure they're all on here. My internet's not been the best, so sometimes it takes a bit. Most of the feats that I've purchased, I've bought scrolls for and used, so that's fine. Oh, that's experimental weaponry. And now I know why I don't usually do this, because this is really boring. Just scrolling through, hovering over each one so I know what they're called. I never did those radium gems. That'll be something new for the next year to work on. Get all the Lemurian stuff. Hey, maybe that's what that is. It wasn't showing up earlier. I just unlocked that from the other underwater caverns. Like we're just getting into the E's. All that's Kari stuff. I really don't have that much Kari steel to use for that, but that's fine. Resource bundles have been really useful. I mean, man, condensing down my storage chest down from 10 to like only using 2 has been really good. I haven't used skin weavers yet at all. I used a lot of this star metal stuff. I'm really happy I learned that. Toxin craft has been pretty cool, pretty fun. I haven't really seen it used against NPCs that attack my base, which is really the only purpose for it. It seems to only affect actual players in the game. Okay. So we went with the Order of Revelation for the Elvenor, which is more of the arcane stuff. And you'll see the factions that I'm a member of later. I kind of just wanted to give an overview of what I've done with the base and everything. So I put 2 monoliths out here with little messages on them just to like show people what's at the base and stuff and what's in my immediate area. Like a nice little howdy message because I know this can be like intimidating. If you look at it like you're like, "Oh, you don't want any visitors, do you?" But yeah, I do. I actually do. If you want to come by my base to like see what's what, I will totally let you in and open the gate and stuff. So it's fine. Um, so this outer gate is built with it's built with plague foundations, and they have palisades next to them. So whatever comes up to attack is going to either try to go after the monoliths first, or it's going to try to go after the palisades first. With the exception of this pillar, which actually doesn't do anything. It's just there for show. So they'll attack that and the watch centers over there. So this is the other side of it. The foundations and walls are all plague. So you can kind of run along this little way and see this little platform area, and you can look down and see what's below you. Maybe shoot some people with a couple arrows, then run back behind this completely sturdy wall. I lost my mouse there for a second. I have a lot of bombs in the yard. That's why I'm not going over there, because they tend to be a problem. And again, this is not supported by any pillars under it, so it's fine. I put some arcane traps out in the yard. One right there and one right there. This gate is tier 4, and so is the wall along that first level. Palisades, glass wall, and then foundation pieces. And then on the inside you've got some tier 4 wall on the first level. You got a couple of tier 1 fences overlapping with that, and then you got tier 1 wall up the side of the wall as well. And tier 1 fence on the top of everything. I added a separate wall piece up there at the corners of the gate, so you can't just crawl the gate and climb up. So I put the FX black smoke jars into the gate like that, so they show black smoke. This is the palisade wall that I crafted to keep my thralls from running up against the palisades that are outside against the foundations and on the foundations. So they can only run next to this and they can't get into it and get hurt. Because I saw some of them catching bleeds from that, and I was like, that's not a good idea. So I blocked off both of those sides with palisades. I got my water mill. I haven't checked that in ages. Oh yeah, okay, that's doing really well. Um, my mouse is just selectively dying. I don't know what's going on. It's not wireless, so I don't know what to tell you. Um, got my lumber mill, couple thralls, different mines. I have all three. Tiers 1 through 3 are all over there. Um, this is just kind of a little group of houses that I built. And you kind of just got captains all over with different levels of thralls out here defending the area. Okay, Mania wants to know what bleeds demon blood. So of course, demon blood can be obtained from smaller boss creatures like a corrupted crocodile. I know that's not how you spell it. Crocodile and hyena, you see, for example. So anyway, back to it. A lot of chains and stuff for decoration. That's one of the 3 Yetis that I have. Oh, you're at Devil Bear levels? Hey, look at you. Okay, so these guys are all. Yeah, so Devil Bears don't bleed uh, demon blood. It's just kind of an AOC thing, I think, because you need demon blood, a vanilla substance, to craft your traps or your dragon powder, which you would then use for your traps. These are the guys. Those are all the flags of the factions and sub-factions I've just joined, minus the Order of the Revelation. I'm going to craft that later. Yeah, so for Demon Blood, if you go up against a corrupted being, you want to use a hatchet for those. You can use a skinning knife for smaller ones, something like a snake, I think you can. When you get to the lower level boss beings, you can use a skinning knife for those, but you may only get a couple units with a skinning knife. You want to use a hatchet for the main um, allocation of resources. If you'll forgive the use of that big word. So here are all my resource bundles. Mousing over them just shows resource bundles, so it doesn't really help to do that. Here's everything that's in the 3 chest, everything in the 2, and the 1. Although technically Argosian Dream Dust should not be there. Let's go ahead and put that back in too. Here's my reference chest for 4. So that just shows everything that's in resource bundles or in my bulk storage boxes. And then I have these down here that are there as holding for each one of those that need to be placed into the resource bundles but haven't been yet. I moved my aloe leaves up into a chest with my bees, so they're not taking up so much space. And I have my utility thralls, I have my placeable thralls, I have my thrall armor, and let's just kind of if all this is gone, I'm going to be upset. I'm just documenting it in case it is. These are all the thralls that I've knocked out that are actually better than the regular standard ones. Standard fares in here. These guys are just cannon fodder. They're not really actually going to go anywhere with me. I need to put that blacksmith over here. It does not belong in the base thralls box. I'm planning to use this chest to set up another vendor for that in Yule. Um, over here, the area that I'm calling Yule is just it's the warp point on the server. You can warp to Yule right about here, and then you can run up to where I'm at on the northern aqueduct. This is where the vendor slash free stuff chest is, and if you run north, you can reach this point, and I have a guest cabin up here. But again, on this map, this entire stretch of bridge belongs to me from land claims. So then I got my little chest over here like I had before. And these guys, I have 8 tier 9 thralls. This is Sanguis Superior. This is Vangul Warlord. This is a Sanguis Superior. This is a Stormhold General. Another Stormhold General. Cold Embrace Master, Cold Embrace Master, and Cold Embrace Master. Or actually, this last one is another Stormhold General, I think. Yeah. So I think I would have 3 Stormhold Generals, 2 Cold Embrace Masters, 2 Sanguis Superiors, and 1 Vangul Warlord. Yeah, the math there adds up. Great. So in the new year, I have in this armor stand the thralls that I want to put down next. I lost a Scourge Hound to the volcano like an idiot. So I'm planning on running a Felgarth healer, a Corrupted Grunt, a Scourge Hound, and a Servant of Wraith as my thralls for the beginning of next year. I've also got this staff that I just crafted. I have yet to use it. Hopefully within the new year I'll start using it. And maybe I'll get some of the enchanted dyes and make my clothes a little bit more interesting. But for now I use this staff, which is the combined fire and blood magic staff. I have not yet tried the arcane stuff yet. Haven't even touched that staff yet. So here's my stats at the moment. Journey steps notwithstanding, probably because I haven't really been focusing on those. Don't have a clan. I'm not a member of any clan. Here's all my followers. So I named the tier 9s, which is making it a bit difficult for me to remember what I have in the courtyard area or in the house, because the ones in the house are definitely tier 9 or just there to relieve my stress and heal me and entertain me, because I do have two dancers. I have two sanguine seductresses, and then I have one dancer, and then I have one healer. So those guys, notwithstanding, everybody else that's in that house is tier 9. My mouse quit again. Let's start that over, shall we? A little bit faster this time, though. Okay, so all the level zeros are probably outside the gate. I think the ones that are highlighted are the ones that are closer to me, which is weird. That probably means that I have a... Well, that's unusual. That would mean I have a dragon whelp that's not on the premises. Let's see what the map says. Okay, yeah, it's way down there. It's by the gate, so it's too far away for me to see it on the map of thralls that are in the area, which is nice. So you saw all the banners there. I added a vault down here from the Van Ghoul. I have the tier 1s of the Set, Emir, and Jabalsig temples. I have the arcane stuff over here. Lag spike. We continue to have issues. All my thralls in this area. So I got my Eldritch workbench, stuff like that here. I got my kitchen, I got my Eldritch campfire, got my enchanting table, Eldritch forge, etc. Multicultural workbench, and that weird sand reaper pet. These are all the tiny pets that I have. So it's just kind of a pet themed little area that you can use it, that I can use as a tavern if I need to or want to. Got my homesteader's bench crafted here. Probably gonna have to get offline soon. This is why I'm not like playing anything serious right now, because the internet has been really unreliable. And that's probably just thanks to all the people who are trying to celebrate the new year virtually instead of meeting in person to have a party, which is really responsible. So in all honesty, I should probably be really happy that I'm having internet spikes like this or difficulty connecting because of that, because of the amount of people using the internet at the moment. So the staff I'm holding right now is also equipped by all of my mages. They also have it. They can use it with their fire magic. Um, these are my horses. This is the stable area. I have the two miniature pets that you can get, and I have two Zephyrus horses that you can get with the faction, and then I have one undead horse, and then I have of course, these guys guarding it, the servants of Wraith guarding, which It's actually pretty cool. So all these guys you've seen on the list before, they're all level 20, except for these greater pets, greater wolf and the greater saber tooth over there. They're not leveled really at all. Um, the saber tooth hasn't been anywhere. These guys are level 13. So hopefully next time I get on stream, I can start with those four following me around, and then maybe I'll get another horse. Maybe I'll get like a regular horse, like an actually normal one, and put it out by the gate. Give it a little roof or whatever to be cute. But yeah, for now, that's what I've accomplished. My other base in Yule, I'm not even going to stream that. That's been covered previously in other streams. Um, and I'm sure I've archived those, so no need to worry about that. I covered the additions to the towers over there, the little guest house and stuff like that before. So those are already they're still there, hopefully. Uh, I can't see them, so I don't know. I'm not gonna bother trying to get them to render in during a lightning flash because why would I? You know? Maybe if I look over there, they'll just be there anyway. But I think that's about it. That's what I've achieved so far. Just kind of wanted to stream that to show the progress that I've made as a player with this build and with these thralls. In case there's some sort of an issue with the decay timer. So yeah, last stream of the year. Fun times. Um, I don't really want to be online trying to do something serious at this point in time because of the issues that we've had with internet connection lately. Um, it's almost like it's not even connected because it'll say no internet but secure, and then I'll enable the VPN like I usually do, and then it'll work like normal, like it has internet, which is weird. So in case anybody was trying to like follow what I was doing earlier with the quest for the arcane magic, let me just see if I can't switch the capture. I've been trying to find my screenshots. Let's see if I can't just go through them. I don't know. It's going to be a little bit more choppy than it should, but that's fine. Okay, it's not going to let me do that. Let's go back to Conan. But at any rate, I had to figure out how to restart the stream doing this stuff first anyway. But so you go into the entrance of. Let me pull this back up. Oh man. Okay. So what I did is I warped to Yule down here, and I ran across here um, in this area to get this way and swam over, and then up here is the entrance to the passage. I don't know why there's only one marker for that entrance. Um, I'm not gonna try to mark it exactly because I'm not in that area, but you, I essentially warped in this area, ran this way, ran up the side here, ran around here, swam across, got here, put down a bedroll, ran over here, and entered the area. It's the same area, essentially, just different ends of this one cloudy little spot. Um, so when you come in at the top of a staircase. So I can essentially run to my right, I think. I can run to my right and fall down the staircase because it's a zigzag. It was really easy for me to just fall down it and scale this and spider climb the sides and then just get immediately to the water. I didn't even waste time trying to fight the NPCs or the monsters that were on the staircase because one of them was a Varus at one point, Centaurus, I think, and then the other time it was a some sort of a skeletal serpent man that I just wasn't prepared for so soon after losing my pet dog Wreck-It in the game, Scourge Hound, that I had been raising from one of the first three that I had brought running across the map. So it was kind of brutal for me to lose them. So this is what the map looks like for me right now. It's the extent of my travels so far, and up here, I guess too. I've been a lot of places, clearly, um, thanks to all the warps in this game. So it's been pretty cool. This is Bobby's Sanctuary, which for some reason is accessible through the passage and through the caves here with the bird bat things, the Jill's caverns in this area. Because I've seen Bobby's lair both places. I've seen Bobby's lair on dry ground in the Jill's roosts in this area, and then I've seen it at the top of the waterway on the underwater caverns and within the passage as you float to the surface when you reach that sunken ship. So the screenshots I was going to show you is you just kind of you take this entrance up north because the southern entrance you'd have to go across the cavern of a lot of different scourge beings and stuff like that and fight all those. And you don't really need to. You can enter up north. It's a lot easier. So you warp to Yule. You run this way. You run that way, right across the dam right here. You can just run up the side. And then I ran all the way over here and swam across. You could swim at any point probably, or just climb the side of this. It's a little steeper. Um, but once I did that, I could run right up into this area, which is the portal way for the northern entrance of the passageway. And then I got down off in here. I got to the stairs. I turned to my right. I scaled down the staircase itself instead of fighting the monsters that were there and just continued to scale and head to my right until I reached the water. And then I swam directly down using the Powers of Dominion mask. Um, Once I reached the cavern, once when you swim down, it's like you swim into a portal with the Well of Skelos, like you fall. Um, if you swim downwards, you enter a portal in a similar fashion to the Well of Skelos portal that you fall into. Um, so it teleports to the underwater cavern. And if you already have your Powers of Dominion mask on, you can see perfectly fine. So once you're teleported in, I don't move at all to the left or right. I just move straight ahead, straight ahead. and then if I hit the wall, I move up. And then um, if I move up and I just see just a steady wall turning into ceiling, I turn to my left just a little bit and follow that wall until there is a little bit of a lip, and then there's like a small plant and a little shelf, and you can just kind of duck into that, and that leads you to the area where the skeleton is. And I've done all that part on stream before when I was looking for the talismans. But you find that area where you see the skeleton and you see that one dungeon that requires, you see that one NPC floating there with a trident that requires water magic. And then you continue, well, in that cavern, and this is the tough part to explain without visuals, but when you um when you see that little temple with the guy floating and the trident in his hand, and you see the skeleton, the rib cage, sort of laying on the ground to your slightly to your left. If you look to your right and see that face, that's similar to the one that's at this portion of the passage that you enter in, but you'll be somewhere in here in the depths of the water under this. If you see that face there, the one that you turn to get the Bane feat, if you have the House Stormcaller of Felgarth, you can, instead of turning right and going that way, um, look ahead at that one small little temple there. Look slightly to your left at the rib cage that's on the floor, and then look all the way to your left to see a small um, opening in the rock next to you, and that's gonna have a stump of some sort on it, or rather inside it. So you'll see the beginnings of that stump if you start to swim into it. So you swim towards that, and then you turn right as soon as you see that stump in that little entrance. You turn right after you get out of it, and you're on the other side, and you just turn to the right. You should see a sunken ship there, and once you get to the sunken ship, you just swim directly up, and you should see the light of Bobby's altar start to illuminate the area. So if you climb up to get to Bobby's lair, um, you can see the top part of a larger underwater structure, and so you swim towards that little peak that you see peeking up above the water, and then you'll swim down into the staircase, much like you would for Dagon's temple, and then you swim back up like those dungeons do all the time, and then you'll once you swim back up, you'll see a purple light across the doorway that you just swam up from, and then that'll be the arcane altar that you can learn the arcane magic at, and that's where I got mine from by doing that. I didn't think that Bobby's lair was still there because I had seen it already in these caverns here. It's really weird. It was a weird moment for me, but I got through it. It took a lot of me just swimming around doing nothing on the other stream, like just standing there like, okay, I don't know what to do now. I have infinite water breathing, so I'm not going to drown, right? That's what was so helpful about getting this crafted early, you know? It's so useful. I mean, I had the volcanic heat and the tempest gust for temperature control if I ever need it, but man, this thing has come in more useful than I could ever explain. Because there's so many things in the terrain that you want to investigate that you just can't do because you don't have the breathing for it, right? You don't have your breathing potions all the time, right? It's tough. So yeah, that's the progress I've made so far. I've got my arcane magic. I've got everything ready to try out. I'm gonna do a lot more of the arcane stuff in the future. This spell that I have right now is Arcane Ward, which is supposed to be like a magic shield. Requires Arcane Tier 5. Okay. Interestingly enough, I don't have to have tier 5 for that. I can use this staff to cast it, I think. But we'll look into that later because I haven't even tried to cast it with this staff yet. I haven't used the staff at all. It's gonna be interesting to test it out with those new thralls, with this new staff, and a new outlook on the game, hopefully. So that was my end of year wrap up slash review of my progress on this server so far, and hopefully in the new year I'll be back with a new look, a new set of thralls, and a new magic to try out. Not really new for anyone who's played the game for any length of time, but new for me as far as its implementation, as far as how the magic staffs work and stuff like that, because I'm still new to this, you know. That's still new. Yeah, so that's a third attack that I had at my disposal that I never used. It's the ultimate. So you just hold your kick button or press your kick button apparently. I love how these guys are just not scathed at all. But it'll be really cool to see that happen with cool to see that happen with the arcane magic because that staff is supposed to be an elite version of the staff that you can use to cast anything. If you have a higher tier fire magic, you can cast with that, or if you have a higher tier other magic, you can. It's supposed to be like universal. That's what it says. Multi-purpose magic, and it really doesn't weigh much either, which is surprising. So I'm gonna pick a deer and try out the ultimate attack. You know what would be even easier? Is to just pick one of these shoe bills that's always pecking me in the face and the side of my head. I hate it. Okay, so the light attack is not enough, or the ultimate attack is not enough. So it would still take me 2 or 3 attempts at casting to actually cause that much damage. But I've equipped these staffs with one of my fire casting thralls and actually had it be borderline profitable, which was surprising. So yeah, that's been me giving a tour of my base. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you guys have a great new year and so forth. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch, and I'm also on YouTube. And I will see you guys in the next year. Have a good one.